Today, I want to show you something really cool out of Polygon Labs in the agentic payments and X402 vertical. This is LLM-wallet MCP, a LLM plugin that will allow any LLM that you're running to have its own crypto wallet. By having a crypto wallet, it can also automatically pay for any X402 gated endpoints on the web. If your cursor needs, for example, a screenshot of a website, and it doesn't have this support natively, you can call an API that micropayment gates making screenshots of URLs and returns that screenshot, and the LLM will actually pay automatically however many pennies that requires to get that screenshot back. So you can have some iterative development with some more enhancements to your LLM that are making it smarter, basically empowering it more because it now has access to these paid endpoints without you having to manually intervene. First step is to go to Agentic Docs on Polygon, so agentic-docs.polygon.technology under LLM Wallet. You can find it by searching for LLM, or you can just find it under Agentic Payments and LLM Wallet. And we will be using the MCP configuration in step 1. First, we will be adding it to Claude Desktop, and then we will be adding it to Cursor and using it in both of these tools. Okay, so the first step to getting this installed into Claude Desktop is to open Claude Desktop settings. Sometimes it doesn't work on the first try, okay? And then in developer, we have here edit config. Now we've copied this middle part here, excluding the edge braces. And if you click edit config, your operating system's finder will focus on the config file in your file system, which you can then edit with any tool like text edit or any code editor. This is what it looks like for me by default. And here I'm going to add a comma, and then I'm going to paste whatever we copied from the docs before. You'll notice that the network is set to Polygon Amoy. I like to test in production, so I'm just going to make it Polygon. And once you close this, it will not load this immediately. You kind of have to close Claude and reopen it for this LLM-wallet MCP to load. And now if you look at your default new chat UI, you'll notice under Tools, you now have LLM-wallet available, which is super cool. And also you can disable or enable specific tools that this LLM wallet server exposes so that you can only kind of limit its context in what it's going to be able to use from this MCP server. Now that we have the MCP server loaded in and enabled in Claude, we can try running some LLM related operations. So for example, to check if I have any wallets from before, I can ask Claude to show me my crypto wallets. And by doing this, it should be able to reason with itself that it has access to some tools about this, and it will automatically invoke. So it's scrutinizing tools. There we go. And now it's checking the information for me. So now it's looking for wallet balances and the list of crypto wallets that we have defined. We will always allow it to run these integrations. You can see that it's getting responses from tool calls, and here we go. So it found some history and it found some information about the wallet. So let's play with this. Let's send, so it has no balance right now. That's good. Let's send some USDC to this wallet and see if we can trigger an X402 call. Actually, let's make a new wallet and just start from there. Okay, create a new wallet called LLM demo wallet. Now it's going to go and create a new wallet that will be initialized to 0 balance, of course, and we'll be seeding it with some USDC. Okay, there we go. We also got a mnemonic phrase we can import into any other wallet UI that we want if you want to use it, maintain it outside of this context. So this is the address that we want to seed with some USDC. Okay, I've sent some USDC to this wallet, so now let's check the balance. Check the balance of LLM demo wallet. There we go. We now have USDC 0.1. So now that we have this, let's see if that's going to work. I have an endpoint defined on ThirdWeb's Nexus that is a paid endpoint to get a random joke. Okay, so now we can try this out. So get me a random joke from this. All right, So now it's trying to get this external URL. Now it'll notice that it's X402 gated and it will try to pay for it automatically from our balance. Let's see if that works. Thinking. Random joke successfully retrieved. Here's your random joke. How many hipsters does it take to change a light bulb? Oh, it's a really obscure number. You've probably never heard of it. Yep. So the endpoint was X402 protected. The payment was automatically handled. 0 USDC cost. This should not cost 0 USDC. Something didn't go completely right there. We'll check that out later. But the X402 protocol handled the payment flow seamlessly. Now let's see why it's at 0. Okay, so this is my Nexus endpoint, and we can see here that the amount is actually so small. I'm selling these jokes so cheaply that it just basically rounded down to 0. It's not exactly 0, but it rounded down to 0, so this is why we're seeing 0. This now successfully works, and our implementation of the LLM wallet in Claude desktop works perfectly. Now let's add this to Cursor as well. Now let's install the LLM wallet MCP server into a brand new demo project in Cursor. No code, just talking to the agents, talking to the built-in LLM interface to see if that LLM wallet functionality works here as well. So first we have to go back to our docs and get the Cursor MCP setup. For that, we will make a new file in a Cursor subfolder, and the file will be called mcp.json. This sets up the MCP for this particular instance. I am again choosing Polygon here because I don't want to deal with testnet. I prefer testing in production. Once I save this, you will notice that, and this should be happening now. Okay, Cursor didn't notice this automatically. Usually it does. It tells you that it noticed a new MCP server and if we want to enable it. So let's see if this is registering successfully. Tools and MCP agents, LLM wallet. Ah, it's disabled. Okay, let's enable it. Now it's loading the tools, and here we go. All 17 of our tools are already available. And that was pretty easy and smooth. All right, now that we have our MCP set up in Cursor, as you can see here, we can try and execute some commands. So previously I've generated a wallet. So let's actually do this right now as well. So create new wallet, Cursor joke demo. Now it's going to create this new wallet. And remember, if your model fails to call the MCP tools, then you can just switch the model to something else, like Sonnet 4 here is performing fine. So now we have this on Polygon mainnet, and I will add some pocket change to this address. Now we can check the balance as well. Okay, it's confirmed. Check this address's balance. Okay, so we have some USDC. Now fetch me a joke. And here is where we will see if the X402 flow works in this setup. Let's see. Running X402 pay. Sure enough, there we go. What did the buffalo say to his little boy when he dropped him off at school? Bye, son. All right, so we now see that we can call paid endpoints from within our LLM environments like Codex or Cursor or Claude Desktop. The advantage of this approach compared to other hosted MCP solutions for hosted wallets is, it should be pretty obvious, you own it. So your wallet is not sitting on some third-party server somewhere. Instead, it is in your custody. Some people care about this, some people don't, but the versatility here is what matters. You can use any option you like. We will also be adding a hosted version of this later on, but for now, we are prioritizing this locally hosted environment so you can test this without relying on a third-party server hosting your private keys and wallets. I hope this has been useful. Feel free to test it out. And if you find any bugs or have any features you would like to propose, please hit us up in our repos, and we will be looking at all the issues and all the suggestions there.